Welcome back to another episode of Wait a Minute. What's that frequency I hear? I hear a sound. Yeah, don't make that noise. I hear a sound. What is that frequency? Aliens? Soviets? Everybody just clicked off the aliens? Soviets? Wait.
I think Ron's having a stroke.
Wait. No. That's just Miles's poor skills behind the soundboard.
Okay. Yeah.
Welcome back to Half a Clue movie review. I'm Blake. I'm joined by Miles.
Hello.
And Jason.
Hi.
And Ron.
Hey.
Today was Jason's pick. Jason, what are we watching?
We're watching The Vast of Night.
And why this movie specifically?
Much like all my other picks, I watched it before and I just wanted to see it again. But yeah, I really like this movie. It's a unique take on the alien abduction kind of film. It's much more subdued, and I really like it. So let's talk about it.
Yeah.
How about that?
It seems like you're.
How about that?
It seems like you're always coming in with those hot picks that I never would have watched, but I don't regret watching after I do. You know.
So, Ron, do you have history for us?
Oh, yeah. All right,
So
folks.
I'm very excited to talk about it.
All right, so tune in, stay with us, and listen carefully, for what you're about to hear may not be meant for public airwaves. The Vast of Night, an indie darling from early 2019, written and directed by Andrew Patterson, was largely self-financed, using money he earned producing commercials and shorts for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a special thanks to Kevin Durant in the end credits, which I find interesting.
That's great.
Awesome. Shot in Whitney, Texas, in the fall of 2016. It's shot this year. No. The entire movie was filmed in just 17 days, roughly 3 weeks, consisting entirely of overnights. That sucks. I'll tell you that much, dude. That's awful. You do 2 overnights in a row and you're just like, I want to go to bed. On a lean budget of around $700,000, Patterson then spent a full year in post-production, meticulously editing the film before it premiered on the festival circuit, where it was ultimately acquired by Amazon and released to a much wider audience. And that's where we saw it. That's where most people got wind of it. And yeah. The result is a small, precise debut that turns limitations into style and atmosphere. So listen closely, folks, because once you catch this signal, there's no turning back the dial.
Great history.
Yeah, I know. Thanks. You want to break down the plot real quick?
Yeah, but first I'm going to criticize the fact that you said indie darling. I don't know what it is. I hate that phrase so fucking much.
I really thought about, I was like, do I write this? And I was like trying to think of another way to say that. And I was like, whatever.
I don't know. I don't know what it is when I hear people like movies.
Yeah, you just don't like phrases like that. Like you don't like what is it? Elevated horror.
Yeah,
like
no, I
that.
don't like that either.
I
will take the fucking phrase elevated horror over indie darling. Oh, it was an indie darling. Shut the fuck up.
What about this little gem? Do you like that?
I don't care for that either, no.
It's surprising for somebody that gatekeeps cinema as much as you do. But
You gatekeep cinema. You don't like anything. Like, really?
doesn't like anything, doesn't watch anything.
I just think that all films are bad.
Okay. All right. So this movie was set in the late 1950s in the small town of Cayuga, New Mexico. The Vast of Night follows switchboard operator Faye Crocker and local radio disc jockey Everett Sloan over the course of a single evening. While Everett is on the air during a high school basketball game, he intercepts a strange, unexpected audio signal that disrupts his broadcast. Curious and unsettled, he asks listeners to call in with any information about similar sounds. All right, initial impressions, folks.
I thought it was a really, really good movie, but it just wasn't for me. Mm-hmm. But I do like it a lot, both conceptually and technically. Like, I thought it was super creative. I thought it was super well made. I thought it was very well written. Like, it's a great movie, but I don't know. It wasn't like for me specifically, but I could see myself recommending this to like anyone who's into, sci-fi. Like you said, off the pod, you mentioned that it's very similar to Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yes,
Yeah.
very much so.
Remind me of Close Encounters and Signs.
Also, what's the whole Orson Welles radio alien thing? Like clearly kind of a riff
War
on
of the
that.
Worlds.
Yeah. Like the radio station is
Yeah.
War of the Worlds, WOTW.
TW.
Yeah. Plus, there's like Twilight Zone vibes. There's a lot of you can tell there's tons of influences there.
Well, they
and they're
definitely
not shy about like
parody the Twilight Zone at the very opening.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
whole
which I think was very very crucial. I think to like setting the tone, for everything else.
but yeah, that's my impression. Ronald, what did you think about the film? Give us your thoughts.
My
and
initial
opinions.
impression when I was like 15 minutes into the movie, before they hear the signal and everything, I was like, it was a little tedious. I was like, not a fan of the dialogue. It felt a little bit showy. Like, I don't know, like everyone was just like chatting a little too much for me. And I was just kind of like, where is this going? You know what I mean? Like it was a little bit much. But then ultimately, like by the time like, the movie ends, I was like, all right, that was definitely worth it because that was a really good experience. I liked it overall. And then I ended up watching it a second time. And then it really didn't. It really kind of glides by. I think it's because you can kind of anticipate. You see where the story is headed, and everyone being so like I don't know loquacious kind of makes sense with the general theme of the film too. Like everyone kind of has a story to tell. So I don't know. I liked it.
It is kind of dialogue heavy, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I feel like it was able to show some of the strong suits of the movie, such as those long tracking shots, or I guess simulated long tracking shots. I'm pretty sure.
No, those were legit. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I'll break down how they did that. I mean, it's very simple, but yeah.
Yeah, because that was just impressive to me. And I think it also helped to give a sense of scale of the whole town. This is something I mentioned to Jason too, where because we ended up watching this together. It basically like being able to go through the entire town and just having a flying cam kind of go through, and it really shows you where everything's at in the town, and you feel the size of it. Where it's not a big town, it's it's a small town, and you understand why everybody knows each other, why it's kind of a bigger deal to have the the basketball game going on.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I should be giving my first impressions, but I do kind of agree with Ron, especially on my first watch. I was like, what the fuck? Especially because I just had a hard time understanding Everett at times. He's like munching on his cigarette. And
He's
he
like,
was kind of
come on, shoot, going down here. And I was like, dude,
which
just what?
which works for his character, but like it gives it presents more of a sense of style than it does like it just doesn't help when you're trying to understand what the fuck's going on. But again, this is my second time watching it, and it was much easier to get through on the second time. But yeah, from then on, like from the moment that she gets to work, like I'm basically just locked in. It's so immersive from that point forward. And a lot of that has to do with what Miles was saying, like the long takes and the everything's done in camera, like the way that they interact with the technology of the time, like the switchboard. Like she's doing that during like a 10-minute take, like back and forth, talking to all these different people, and like I don't know, it's super immersive. That's one of the best ways I think I could describe this movie.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's like, and yeah, that is a lot to do with the technique, right? The way it's told and everything. Those long holding takes really sell a lot of what I think could be kind of glossed over, like her operating the switchboard. Like you said, apparently they practiced that for like a week. Like she was constantly rehearsing that because she's operating it like how you actually would, and that was super impressive. And then there's like a 5-minute take of Everett doing like
Threading the tapes and everything.
Yeah. And it's like that was a whole thing too.
And
like,
it looks effortless. It looks like they've done it 100 times, 1,000 times,
And I think that's what impressed me the most about this movie was overall just the techniques that they took to it. Some of it is a little showy, but I think in an appropriate kind of way. You know what I mean? Where it's like I think a lot of like film festival films kind of do that. They try to like flex their strengths, and there's nothing wrong with that necessarily, but sometimes it can like it just masking weakness, but I think it's this way it's totally worth it. And again, and towards the end, I think all that kind of adds up to what leads to such a strong ending where it's like once everyone stops talking and everyone's listening, it's it makes it that much more effective, you know? Like for me, it was like probably my favorite scene was when they were listening to, was it Billy, the guy on the phone, the first caller, and you hear his story, and I was totally locked in just like them. And even the screen, like, you know, the screen goes dark and everything, and I was like,
Just really listening.
Yeah, I was really listening. I was totally invested. That was probably like one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, with what you're saying about it being showy, not necessarily in a bad way, but it does very much feel like an indie debut in that way, where it's like, very skilled.
Yeah. And I kind of get it, because it's like, I think if you are putting like $700,000 of your money into this, it's like you're gonna put everything that you've got, you know, and there's no holding back, and I think that's great.
Like I said, on a technical level, it's like almost flawless. Like everything looks, and the way the scenes are executed and shot, and it's like perfect. It's very, very well made.
Yeah. I think the writing was my only issue, but that was really just in the first like opening couple scenes, you know, because after that, then once they're like on the go and they are speaking kind of more, it feels more like off the cuff, like they're moving faster, like it feels a little more organic, you know. He's like, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, you know, because I tend to hurt girls' feelings. Like, well, stop being such a jerk. And it's
Yeah,
like, you know,
it feels natural.
yeah, at that point, it feels way more like organic and stuff, and not like forced. Like, all right, folks, now we got to talk for like 5 minutes. And it's like,
Was it the scene where they're walking back to like the station that got you going?
yeah, it was that, and like when they were interviewing the people in the car, and I was like, I didn't care what they were saying. To be honest, I was like,
It was a little hard to hear what they were saying.
yeah,
in
they're
my
like,
opinion.
oh, you know, what's his face found something by the tracks, and they're like, oh, really? He's
The
like,
squirrel
yeah,
bit into the wires.
yeah, and I was like, I get it. They're just like kind of like it's small town like jabber, and that's fine, but it just kind of went on a little long.
I did like that he stole that dude's trombone.
Yeah.
And just basically bullied the fucking kid.
Yeah.
That was funny to me. There's some good stuff, but I agree. It felt maybe a little too long and a little too long-winded for what the setup probably needed to be.
I don't know. It's setting a lot of things up. It's setting up the characters. It's setting up the isolation aspect, right? Like the whole town but
Yes.
them are going to be at this game. It's setting up just how into like the radio they are and how seriously they take their professions. It is a little like, like a indie movie. But I don't know. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, like 3 minutes in, Blake's like, what's this hipster shit?
You got to admit, though, that opening scene really left you caring about the main characters, right?
Not
Where
me,
it's like,
really. I was kind of like, I was ready to just like, what's the next thing? But like I said, that was really more my first time through.
Yeah.
By the time, like, you know, the ball really started rolling, that's when I was more invested. And that's when I was like, okay. And that's when I think it really showed more of the strengths of each of the characters, you know, like their curiosity, their willingness to kind of go the extra mile to like figure out what's going on. That's when I actually really became more invested in them. But just honest, like that first 15 minutes though was like,
It is a little rough. I
again,
agree with that.
on the second rewatch, not as bad. I was like, all right, whatever, because I kind of already have a better idea of, I already know where this is all headed, and it's worth it, you know, like so. Yeah.
One thing I really wanted to talk about is how colorful this film was for being a nighttime film. You know, usually it's, you know, overshadowed and dark and there's a lot of shadows and stuff everywhere. But I don't know if they just lit it very well or what they did, but it just felt very colorful. Whenever you were looking at stuff, it wasn't just bland looking things. You know, there was a lot of color to everything.
Yeah, the lighting is, I don't know, it's not natural lighting, but it feels natural. It really seems like they worked hard to make it feel like a 1950s town at night in New Mexico. And they put a lot of effort into like making sure shadows didn't show in certain places, specifically on that long like one shot through the town.
Yeah. Which that was a go-kart. They bought a go-kart from some 18-year-old local, and they had an operator on it who just went like, you know, half a mile through the town and everything, and then to just like remount it in, walk through, and then same thing. So
I thought it was like an RC car maybe, or like a drone possibly, but yeah, that's cool.
apparently a guy like laying on his stomach, like holding the camera. Like, and I don't know, that's like, I think that's super impressive.
That is cool, yeah.
That's the stuff that I'm like, all right, like give them their flowers at least. For this stuff is great, and then later with the like the visual effects that they really like once they actually showed the spaceship, I loved that. I was like, oh sweet, like this was, you know, it looked good, and yeah, and I don't know, but I think that's like the visual style was really strong there. You know, like there's the high contrast, a lot of it too. I really enjoyed, where it's like the darkness, kind of the nighttime from this town. I think it's like it also feels like a character because you can't quite see everything, you know.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You know, there's a lot of like spots that are illuminated, but you know, I think it works with the title really well too. You know, the vast night. You know?
But it's also not done in a scary way, because sometimes when you get like those dark areas and those, you know, very shadowy regions in a scene, you know, that kind of is like, okay, that's a, you know, a scary kind of dead zone right there, right? But it felt like it was more kind of, it just brought your eyes to where the light was instead of, you know, making you fear what was in the dark.
Yeah, and I think that's part of it that reminded me of like Close Encounters, which have you guys seen? Have
I have not.
Nope.
No.
You seen it? Yeah. So you know how there's like it is kind of scary, like because it is like an alien abduction story, but the way that it's like shot and the characters' reactions and everything, it's not framed as like scary. Like it's something it's more to instill like a sense of like awe and like wonder, and that's where I think this movie really took like inspiration from that, at least, and that was cool. That was cool. The only one sense where I was like, it felt a little I'll say like inconsistent or out of place was when she gets that first call from the lady who's like, there's something over my house, like it's like a tornado. She's like freaking out. She's like, huh? Like, are you okay? And I was like, your reaction doesn't seem to be like, you know, matching up with this lady's clear sense of like urgency. Like she's like, oh, what's going on? There's something happening. She's like, are you okay? Are you in danger? And I was like, okay. It's like that part was a little off, but I mean, you know, that's just nitpicky. I think like the rest of it was, you know,
You can email the director and let him know.
you're
Sorry, what's the director's name?
I was like,
Andrew Patterson?
yes.
Sorry, Andrew Patterson. Ron didn't like that scene.
Yeah, that one scene didn't match.
Well, it
Email
wasn't
us, I'll
even
give
a
you his
scene. It
address.
was that one like phone call.
Yeah.
The rest of that scene was freaking fantastic.
Yes, no, that's like
I
that
actually
10-minute scene.
kind of forgot about that phone call
All of
a
the
little
scenes
bit.
are like
Yeah.
10-minute scenes. There's a lot of
Yes.
very long, drawn-out scenes in a good way. I don't mean that in a bad
Yeah,
way.
we're just like sitting and you're listening to somebody, and you're just letting the character, you know, have that. I feel like actors love that shit too, where it's like you're just letting them kind of feast, you know. On
Well, and I mean, this becomes a story about tall tales and stories, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody has you know, their story to tell, and many of them are ridiculous, and it's kind of crazy trying to suspend your the characters trying to suspend their disbelief, where it's like people are like, oh yeah, you know, a squirrel chewed through the line, and then a chipmunk, and then, you know, you hear all these different variations of it, then they get into the other stuff, you know, and the other people's story, Billy's story, and then the other lady's story
Yeah, I
that
was just
follows
gonna
on
say,
after that.
That's my favorite scene is the old woman's
I
story.
feel so bad for her.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty sad. Also, fuck you, Everett. Just take her.
Yeah, he's like, we gotta go.
Like, just take this poor old woman.
what are they
with
gonna
you.
carry her? She can't
I
like.
don't know. Just she has a wheelchair or something. Like maybe
Me.
that was
When
my
she finds out that they disappeared, she's gonna be so fucking mad.
It's like, God damn it.
that was my favorite scene in the movie though. And same thing. It was like the camera was basically static on her for like 10 minutes straight of her just giving this crazy long monologue. I was telling Jason, like, this might be, I don't know if this is weird, but it reminded me a lot of the last scene of The Leftovers, like a lot. An older woman talking about like her grief with also like a very fantastical story attached to it that the other character either may or may not believes, depending on how you interpret it. I don't know. I was like thinking about The Leftovers. Like, this is like exactly like the last scene in The Leftovers.
Yeah.
Great scene though. That old lady, good job.
No, that's good.
Good performance. I wish I knew your name.
What do you guys think of the framing of like having it take place in it wasn't like a Twilight story, but a Twilight Zone kind of thing, like show.
It was interesting.
I think it really prepares you for what's to come without really telling you much about the story that it's going to be telling right off the bat, right? Because, Twilight Zone, it was always something supernatural going on, something out of the ordinary, but it was always kind of different things. So, going into this, I wasn't sure if it was going to be like an alien thing or like some runaway government technology thing that they were trying to tell, or what was going to be going on. And you really don't kind of get into the meat of what it's going to be until probably like 40 minutes in.
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, it does a good job, as Miles said, of just like preparing you for what's to come. I'm curious how the movie would have been received if it didn't have that at the beginning, because like going in blind as I did, like the first time, knowing that something supernatural is likely going to happen just because of that opening, or just starting it as is, I think it probably would have been more like interesting to see that play out without knowing,
I agree, because it could have.
I think that it might not have held your attention long enough, though.
Maybe.
Well,
that's another thing, though, is like, I was like, but also I was kind of sitting there waiting, like, when's it gonna happen? Like, when are we gonna get to
because it could have.
the reason I'm here, I guess.
Well, because I actually kind of agree with you, where I almost wish they didn't have that in the beginning, just because then it like, oh, is this like a Soviet thing? Is this like a government interference thing? Like, but then you're like, oh wait, no, it's not, because like the opening scene is like framing this as if it's an episode of like the Twilight Zone or something.
Yeah.
So something supernatural or likely alien. I think everybody just jumps to alien.
Yeah,
is going to happen. So yeah, I think I'm kind of with you there. I'm like, maybe it would have been better if they hadn't done that.
I liked the framing because it does set you up, and I think that is kind of like more like what Miles says. It helped me want to stick around longer because I wasn't totally drawn in by the first by the opening of it, like I said before. So that I was like, well, I know this is probably going to get interesting. So like, obviously, Jason picked it, so I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah, you would have had to watch it anyway.
Yeah, but like it helps where I'm just like, all right, well, I know something's around the corner. When's it coming? And but it's okay, and I think it does create the a good atmosphere, kind of like really sets the tone, which is nice. Yeah, I liked it. I felt like it was kind of weird. Like it felt, I might be wrong, but it kind of felt like it was just like when it decided to like jump into like that kind of TV look that it would do, like it would kind of fade into like the blue staticky stuff.
I could believe that.
Yeah, it kind of just felt a little
that.
just out of nowhere. I was like, all right, okay. But like the moments I did like though was again like when the visual like turns off and you're just listening to Billy speak. That was cool. I really liked that because it really did just put you into Everett's headspace where you're just like,
or you're just like listening on radio, right?
Exactly, yeah. So that was dope. I
and
like
then
that
they
stuff.
do that again later. Also, I forget what scene they do that in again, where it goes black.
Well, the lights turn off at one point.
Yeah.
No, not the lights turning off in the radio station, but they actually have another section where I think it's somebody talking. It might have been when they're in the car driving out into the middle of nowhere. Maybe it was during that time. I can't remember right now, but I thought that they did it twice.
What do you guys think of the soundtrack?
It was good.
Yeah, I really like the music in this movie.
It was great.
Very atmospheric. It all seemed to really work very well.
Yeah, I think it was one of the strongest points for me. Again, especially towards the ending, that final moment where it's just quiet and the music swells up and it's like those long kind of strings and stuff is just, and it's like you see it happening. You're just like, whoa, like and that's awesome to really kind of. It feels like that kind of film magic, where I'm just like, yeah, like I'm really swept up by this, and that's awesome, and I super appreciate it. And like earlier too, when they're like kind of running around, it's like dun, 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 like kind of like adds the, it does everything a soundtrack's supposed to do, and then some. I think it was great.
So, do you know what type of camera they used to shoot this, or was it processed, post processed to make it look kind of grainy the way that it
was
did?
post-processed. They
Okay.
used digital cameras.
Yeah, I think it was a Komodo, but I think there is a lot of that like grain that does come from. They think they shot it at like 1200 ISO or something, so it was like low lighting stuff that they were dealing with. But
I mean, it looked great. I liked the kind of grainy look. It
Yeah,
kind of
it fit
really
the
set
story.
it into the time as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. Hold on. So yeah, shot 17 days in Texas. Oh, the name Fast and Night comes from like it's a Shakespeare line from The Tempest.
Oh.
That's a fun one. Yeah. Oh yeah, so like some fun cultural context. The movie was, I guess, it took inspiration from like a couple different incidences. Because like as it was happening, I don't know about you, but I was like with that opening dialogue and a lot of it through it, and especially when they were like walking home and she was recording everything, I was like, is this like based off of something? Like, did somebody go missing and they found recordings or something like that? And it's like kind of. It's based off of a few
Loosely
things.
based on a few things.
Yeah, there's the Kecksburg UFO incident on December 9th of 1965 in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. A fireball was reported by citizens from 6 different states. Apparently something like, landed outside of a field. In an episode of Unsolved Mysteries, they had an episode where they talked about it, and they said that like they got quotes from locals that they said they saw something large, like as big as like a Volkswagen Bug, covered in like Egyptian hieroglyphs that had like crashed in the middle of the woods, and then like basically then the military showed up and stopped people from viewing it. NASA came out later and said it was like a piece of like a Soviet satellite or something. It's crazy.
Likely story.
The object where it landed was immediately sealed off by the U.S. Army and like state police, and they for closed inspection. And yeah, they stopped people from like going to it. So that just fuels people's stuff. And then there was the Foss Lake disappearances, 2 separate cold cases from 1969 and 1970 in Custer County, Oklahoma, 1970. Or in both cases, it was like a group of people that like disappeared in their cars and were just never seen from again, including the cars. But it wasn't until 2013 that they actually found their bodies. They found the cars and the bodies in the lake. So it was like they finally figured it out. But they don't know. I don't think they know how they ended up in the lake. But they said that they drowned, which is like crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I always like that where it's just like there's the mystery element of it that draws on like real shit, and that's cool. So I think I remember that UFO story too. The Kecksburg incident. I remember watching something like on like Discovery Channel or something where they talked about it, like this thing landed in the woods, and it's like
Ancient
whoa.
aliens.
Yeah, and they had like a reconstruction of it, and it's like no, it's like the whole thing. Yeah,
Weirdly enough, when Billy was telling his stories, made me think a little bit of Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Crystal Skull.
Kingdom of the Crystal
Kingdom.
Skull.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I'm sorry. Where he just gets black bagged and brought to like a dark site. And
Yeah.
he's like told to, look over this thing. And nobody really knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's all kind of hush hush.
everyone knows
Right.
a piece of things.
And
Nobody knows
and
the whole story.
It's like your favorite Indiana Jones movie around.
Yeah,
it's an awful Indiana Jones movie, but no, I don't know. It felt kind of like, yeah, that's something the government would do.
Absolutely.
I
I mean, they do shit like that all the time.
Yeah.
they don't want I think it's exactly what he says too. He's like, well, everyone knows pieces of things, no one knows the full story. That's
Yeah.
It's like anybody who does know the full story, that I don't know. It's like they'll never say anything. Any last thoughts?
Like I said, I think it's a really good movie. It's just not personally for me, but I would recommend it to people that are into sci-fi for sure.
Yeah.
This is probably my favorite alien abduction film that I've watched. Mind you, I haven't watched many, but I think that they did an excellent job on the execution here and really accomplished what they were trying to do.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's execution is key. I think they really pulled off. It seems like they pulled off everything they wanted to do.
Had the actors been in anything before?
Yeah,
They had acted.
Yeah, sorry. No.
They just they're just not well known. I think what's her name, Sierra McCormick. I think she's doing a bunch of stuff now, and Jake Horowitz, he's doing some stuff also in Andrew Patterson's next movie. So, which technically came out last year, but I don't think it's gotten a release. And it should. It's got Matthew McConaughey, Kurt Russell in it. So I'm
No
hoping
way.
for a release.
That's
oh,
awesome.
that's cool.
Yeah, maybe
'Cause-
Amazon will pick it up or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely want to see more from this guy. He definitely showed some chops. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Like watching like the Q&A with them talking about it, and it sounds like they're lots of planning. Like for anything like this, and you're dealing with a small budget, but with this kind of like scale, like like this, like it's very ambitious. It's like but again, they pull it off, and I think that shows lots of like good planning, and that's the kind of shit that studios love when they're like, oh, you did it, and you did it on a small budget, and you managed to do it. So that's cool.
Are you gonna finance his next film run?
Yeah. I'll mail him $20. But yeah, no, overall, I think it was executed super well. And yeah, I really liked it. It was great.
Cool. Any other
Yeah.
words or?
Do you still like it as much as you did the first
Yeah,
time?
I think I probably like it more. Yeah, as I said, it's a very subdued take on the abduction story, and I like that. I like
Abduction?
what
Sorry, go ahead.
everything felt very natural from a certain point onward, and I give everyone a lot of credit for doing their jobs properly.
Abduction starring Taylor Lautner.
Yeah, yeah,
Anybody seen that?
No.
maybe actually, maybe.
Was it good?
I don't even remember if I watched it or not, so probably not.
Do you guys remember? Oh no, the name slipped my mind. But there's a movie with wow, I can't even remember the.
So there
actress's
is a
name.
movie that
There's
exists.
a movie out there
that
that has
exists.
somebody in it.
Jennifer
that-
Lawrence.
No.
Uh,
Oh my god,
Wait, is abduction like the parkour movie?
Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore. Okay.
Boogie
It's-
Nights?
No, not Boogie Nights. It's like one where like basically her son gets abducted, and then and then she's like, oh my god, where's like my son? And nobody remembers that she had a son.
Magnolia?
Everyone's like, you don't have a son. And she's like, I did, I had a son, and like nobody believes
Was
her.
that an Angelina Jolie movie?
No, that's I know which one you're talking about too, but no,
That's like the Changeling or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
The Forgotten. I think it's The Forgotten. Yes. That was a good one. And that movie, I totally just spoiled it, but spoiler alert, it's aliens. But it scared the shit out of me as a kid because there's like a scene where like one lady, she's like, hey, like I know what happened to your kid. We have to be and then she just gets like just zipped out of like she just gets pulled out of like in the air, and it's just like what? Because up to that point you're not really sure what's going on. You're like, is this like conspiracy? Is it like a murder? Is it like same kind of thing where it's like you don't really know, and then that just happens, and it's just like holy shit, and it's just like I don't know, it scared the crap out of me as a kid because I was like the idea of just getting like abducted. Like you're just outside and you're just gone. And it's like,
What
oh
if
my
someone
God.
was just about to watch this movie the second our podcast was over?
Nobody was
And they were
watching The
like-
Forgotten.
And they were like, I can't wait to put on The Forgotten, which I know nothing about. The second my favorite movie podcast is over. I sure hope it doesn't come up. What are the chances?
You know what I want to watch? I want to watch The Fourth Kind.
Dude,
That's like a super
Oh,
divisive movie.
that's the
Some
one with
people
the
talk about
owls.
it and say it's like the scariest movie they've ever seen.
fucking hate
And
that
some
movie.
people have
Yeah,
the
that.
response Ron has.
That's the movie with the owls, right?
yes.
Yeah, I remember.
was so hyped for that shit. And then, yeah.
I remember like I was like in high school at the time. I remember like everyone in class who had saw it was like, it's the scariest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
It was scary. Like parts of it were like it just like it crossed a certain point where it was like the whole thing is they're trying to sell you that this movie is like real,
Yeah.
like based off of real footage, and you're like, whoa, that's crazy. And then it just keeps escalating, and you're like, oh, this is
This is not
clearly
real.
bullshit. And I was like, and then suddenly all of that like fear or like anxiety of it kind of goes out the window. But there is like some good stuff in there though. There's good moments that at least freaked me out when I saw it back then.
You know what looks terrifying? Was it Fire in the Sky?
Oh, dude, Fire in the
Yeah,
Sky's cool.
dude.
I've never seen it, but like I've seen stills. I'm like, that shit looks
It's a
awful.
good one.
I saw a YouTube edit of Rosetta Stoned by Tool to the like the end of that movie. Like
Yeah.
you know, I wish I hadn't have watched that because I want to watch the full movie. But
It's a good movie. I like that one. That one's also based off of a real incident.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've read
obviously,
about that one.
yeah.
apparently the guy's like really pissed about it though,
Yeah.
because he says the aliens were really nice to him, and it
Oh,
it
yeah.
like
They
makes,
do not make them seem nice. It is the most. That movie is definitely the most like intense abduction film I've ever seen. Where it's like, whoa, like this is like, you know, it's freaky alien abductions. It's not like, oh, it's a happy technology. No, dude.
Yeah, I think he was on like Joe Rogan or something. He's like, that's not how it happened.
No, it's not. But I have read his like account, and it's not like a particularly scary one. I mean, I'm sure it's scary, but
like they
it
hold my
wasn't
hand.
like a aliens or villains
like
abduction story.
They showed me to a strange looking being and they told me it was my son. And it's like, what the fuck? You know? It's always shit like that where it's like they took his seed 10 years ago and he comes back and they're like, here, we used your DNA to make you. I don't know. Alien abduction stories are always really fascinating to me. There's a certain point in time I was very into alien stuff. Not so much anymore. But it's like, but I thought it was very cool. So yeah, I've seen a few of these.
Anyway,
But
should
this is
we
one of the
get-
best ones for sure.
Should we get into what we've been watching?
Oh,
Yes,
Sure.
let's do
Miles.
it. Well,
You want to save the shared one? For
yes,
the end?
I'll
Okay.
save the shared one for the end. So I guess we can start with A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is a Game of Thrones spin-off, I guess you could say.
we recorded this the day after, or well,
2 days after.
2 days
Yeah.
after the new episode,
Yep. So
first episode.
Ron was over with a couple other people. We were hanging out, and we ended up watching that on Sunday night. Yeah, and it's pretty good so far. I mean, I've read the stories, the short stories, the Dunk and Egg, and you know, it's seeming to live up to them, which is a good thing. I was kind of worried, you know, do they just kind of do a loose adaptation with this and kind of do their own thing? But no, it seems like they're trying to stay at least fairly faithful right now.
Yeah.
So
Are the
that's good.
stories like a comedy as well?
Yes,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
much
okay.
more lighthearted.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there is like drama and like, you know, there's some like gravitas that happens every, you know, but most of it is much more lighthearted, you know. It's like Dunk's a big lovable dude. Egg is like
His name's Dunk and Egg.
Dunk,
Yeah.
and then Egg is the little kid, and he's like a little smart aleck, you know, kind of kid. It's great. It's good stuff. So far, it seems to be.
It seems good so far.
Yeah,
And then
it's good.
also, I have been watching the new season of Fallout, which is fairly good. And I finished watching Mad Men. I don't think I said that, or I don't think I had finished that last time. But we had a podcast. But yeah, finished watching Mad Men, and also Career and Beyond Journey's End premiered this week also, so I've been watching that. Season 2 at least had the premiere. So yeah, just a lot of TV right now.
Nice.
Yep.
Jason.
I haven't really been watching anything. I guess I've been watching The Rookie.
You're watching cop propaganda.
Yeah. That show sucks, but
The TV show or the baseball movie?
the TV show.
Okay.
That show kind of sucks, but I don't know. It's just fun to have on. It's a stupid little show, but other than that, I don't know. I've been mostly reading and playing video games, so I haven't been watching much.
Nerd
Yeah,
reading.
that's me. I like how the nerd is from the reading and not the video games.
I didn't know you could read.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you learn something new every day.
Ronald.
I've been like my comfort show. I've been for the past couple weeks has been Malcolm in the Middle. Funny
Hey!
enough. I know.
Oh, I've been
Everyone's
watching that
watching
a little
Malcolm
bit
Middle,
too. Yeah.
Right? It's like
Yeah.
I'm
you know,
watching it too.
it's great. So I've been rewatching that. I'm like in this last season, and it's like I don't know. It's such a great show. Everyone knows
It's
that.
good all the way through.
Yeah. And then I've been like adjacent to Rozie watching Glee. So I've been like exposed to more Glee.
Sure.
Yeah, to more
Adjacent.
No, I'm sorry. Like so I've only watched like a couple episodes like here and there. Like we'll be eating dinner, it'll be like an episode of Glee. And I'm like, you know, when this show was premiering when I was like in high school, so I was very much like, yeah, whatever. Now is like, you know, the man in his 30s, I can be like, It's a good show. Like, I see why people liked this show. Like, it's pretty funny. It's fun. The musical bits are funny. It's very like, it's corny, but like in a lighthearted, like good way, you know? Like, I'm like, all right, I get the appeal of the show. So I don't know. I never thought I'd be talking about Glee, but it's a good time. It's not bad, you know? If you're definitely, it's like if you're in any kind of musical stuff, you'll probably like it. And, you know, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it to everybody, but you know, it's a good time.
Yep.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
I've actually watched a few movies since the last time we've recorded.
Oh.
I suppose I'll start with the one me and Miles watched together.
I didn't know you like movies.
I do. We watched Reservoir Dogs in theaters last weekend, which was pretty cool.
It was awesome.
Pretty awesome. You know, I think that I said this last time I watched it too, which was like maybe 2 years ago. Having watched all of Tarantino's movies like multiple times, I actually think Reservoir Dogs kind of has one of his most tense moments, and it's because he didn't have the budget to do like over the top stylized violence yet. Over the top stylized violence is a lot of fun in his movies, but it also takes something away. But like during that scene where Michael Madsen is like cutting like the guy's ear off, and he's like dousing him with like lighter fluid,
gasoline,
and he's just like slowly taking out the lighter. It's like, holy fucking shit! It's like, it's a really really intense sequence where you're like, even knowing the guy's gonna, well, I mean, he's not gonna survive ultimately, but he's gonna survive this. He's not gonna get burned. He's not gonna get burned to death.
Yeah.
It's a very intense moment,
And
like,
funny. Where he's like, hello? It's like, you hear that? Huh? He's like talking into his
I
ear.
was talking to the.
It's so fucked up, but yeah.
Well, yeah, Michael Madsen is just playing like a fucking crazy person, and he does it so well. And like the guy's like pleading for his life, like he's being doused with gasoline, and Michael Madsen's like, "Hey, you done? You done yet? You done?" It's very intense in a way I think that his later movies don't, and it's because they're so hyper stylized.
He's going to kill this cop. Who, this cop? Bam! This is a great.
Oh,
sorry.
by the way, that's what's his name? Sean Penn's brother. Oh God, what's his name? Chris Penn. So good.
I think.
So good in that movie.
Is that guy Sean Penn's brother? I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's wild.
He died young, sadly.
Oh, man.
Which also R.I.P. to Michael Madsen, who died last year.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Peter.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Tarantino regulars is definitely Michael Madsen.
I knew a guy who I've known people who've worked with him, Michael Madsen, and they said that like he was a character, and he had a thing where he would only get like he'd be like, here, I'm gonna be here, you're gonna shoot me from here, all right, and that's it. And it's just like, okay. Like he'd be like, you only shoot him from like a certain side for some reason, I don't know why, and then you'd just be like, all right, and then he would do his thing, and he was just like, then go home. Like, I don't know. It's like he reached a point where he was like, this is what I do, that's it. And then I don't know, thought that was funny, but
Yeah. Were you the one who showed me the video about the making of Reservoir Dogs a couple months ago?
probably not.
No. Oh, yeah, I just thought it was really interesting. Like, I saw this video, I can't remember where, and it was talking about, you know, how he went through and got all of his funding secured, Tarantino, and how basically he was working at a video store, making ends meet. That's how he met all of these guys that were established actors, and they were like, yeah, we want to do this movie with you.
Yeah,
right?
From what I understand, Harvey Keitel put up a lot of the funding.
Yes.
Harvey Keitel was kind of the one who, once he saw the script, he was like, okay, I'm going to get these other guys in on this too.
But
And also, what's interesting, Tarantino had the option or the opportunity, I guess, to direct either.
This or True Romance.
Yes. And I guess he chose this. But I would like to see his version of True Romance, even though I think who directed True
Tony
Romance?
Scott.
Tony Scott. Yeah.
My guess would
I
be
think he did a great job.
my guess would be he chose Reservoir Dogs just because it's simpler for a first movie, probably.
Yeah.
True Romance gets a little cuckoo
Yeah,
bananas.
I think he said something like that, where it's like it really does. It takes place in like 3 locations basically, and yeah, it's like it's an ensemble film, but it's like I don't know. That's a great like first outing where it's like you have to be able to balance all of these personalities, and they're all like pretty strong actors too. Like it's like what a cast to kind of like work with on your first time. In a sense, like they can help kind of carry a lot of the film for you, but you still have to like manage it to, you know, you do the job of being a director and like, you know, kind of all hit the same tone. It's obviously it's, you know, it shows what he was capable of, which is awesome.
Great movie.
First time I saw it in theaters, and
Me too.
I I always enjoy going to see movies like that I remember fondly in theaters.
I know you said it's the only reason, or the only
The only time you'll go to a theater.
anymore.
I mean, unfortunately, you know what? Maybe I'll go to the movie theaters to go see what's that movie?
Doomsday? Avengers Doomsday?
No, no, the
Supergirl?
No, the movie I was
Spider-Man.
talking about that's coming out this year, the sci-fi one.
Dude, you know what I want to see?
The guy who did The Martian.
I forgot to mention. Sorry.
Project Hail Mary.
yes.
Yeah, Project Hail Mary. I might go out to the movie theaters to go see that.
El Spielberg go. I forgot to mention Godzilla -2 is coming out this year too. I'm so excited for that. I love Godzilla -1. That was one of my
a great
favorite
movie.
movies.
I saw that with you.
Yeah, it's great.
We saw the black and white cut. And I didn't realize that wasn't the only cut when we saw it. Funny
Yeah.
enough.
Well, it's good.
I also finally watched Yojimbo.
Yo, Jimbo.
I'm making it a point to go through a lot of Kurosawa this year. That's my movie.
Yeah.
Movie. What's it called? New Year's resolution.
Is that your homework for this year? Yeah.
That's my homework for this year. Yojimbo's fucking awesome. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
I think the thing that really sticks with me the most, though, its film score is incredible.
Yes,
like the
dude.
music is so good. My favorite part of the whole movie might legitimately be the opening title crawl, where it's just it's just like that tracking shot of him walking through like the kind of desolate location as the opening credits are being shown on screen to that like incredible
Yeah,
score.
it's really bombastic. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
From what I remember, first time I saw that was actually also at a movie theater as a secret movie club, and they talked about it beforehand. And I think Kurosawa told the composer basically I just want a score that doesn't sound like other samurai movies. Like just give me something like unconventional or whatever. And he's like, all right. So then he chose this big, brassy
and it works
loud
very
thing.
well.
It's sick, so good.
And I like that that's kind of his theme, and they use it really well too. Like there'll be moments where he's slowly taking out his sword and it's kind of lightly playing in the background. It just becomes his character theme. Great movie. A lot funnier than I imagined.
How do you think it compares to A Few Dollars More? Or sorry, Fistful of Dollars.
That's actually the only Sergio Leone film in that trilogy I haven't seen.
Okay. I thought
No, because
that's
I've seen For a Few Dollars More and
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
I've seen parts of Fistful of Dollars.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just never watched it all the way through.
It's funny. I just watched that one around Christmas time, and I was you can see because I saw Yojimbo first, and I was like, oh, it's interesting. I kind of you can see how just two very different people handle the same concept,
Exact story.
Yeah, and it's interesting. But
And yeah, dope movie. I will be hopefully reporting back with more Kurosawa films.
I've got some you can borrow if you want.
One last
do you
comment.
really have some?
Yeah.
Which ones you have?
I'm not even sure, to be honest. I've got a big collection, so
You should watch them sometime.
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, sorry. One last comment about Yojimbo I wanted to make before I move on.
Yes.
I also found it to be as much of a samurai film. It's also in a lot of ways a gangster film.
Yeah.
I think that soundtrack almost kind of sounds like a gangster track in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I didn't expect this to be a gangster movie, but it kind of is in addition
Yeah.
to being a samurai movie. I also rewatched, I should say, Good Will Hunting, which is a movie that Jason used to get mad at me because he used to say I didn't like it very much.
No. What? I used to say you didn't like it. Used to say.
No, I'm saying you used to
Oh.
get mad at me because I said I didn't really like it.
Oh. Yeah, you were just kind of an asshole about it, I think is the thing.
I like it more now upon rewatch. I still don't love it, but it is a really, really well-made movie. Obviously, Robin Williams is very good in it. I feel like Stellan Skarsgård doesn't get enough praise because he's pretty great in that movie too.
I forget he's in that movie.
And he's dressed like a James Bond villain throughout the whole time. It's got a really good color palette. I mean, it's Gus Van Sant. I think that's kind of one of his things, right?
It's very autumnal, right? It's autumn colors.
Yeah, it's very warm colored, but it's very just well thought out. Like the set dressing, the wardrobe, the lighting. It's all very well coordinated.
They say that I was working on some indie movie and they stole that line like almost word for word. Like, you know, the best part of my day is when I wake up and I don't remember this or whatever. Like, it's like, you know, and I think you're not there or something. And I was like, this is straight up Good Will Hunting. I was like, you just stole this entire thing. But, you know, I remember what project that was. But
We
I
all know
remember.
Ben Affleck wrote more of Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's Good Will fucking Hunting. I feel like everyone's probably seen that movie and has opinions on it. It's good. I don't love it, but it's good. That's what I've been watching.
Wow. All right. So it's my pick for next. Oh, wait. No, it's not. Blake, it's your pick.
It's my pick.
Yeah. You're co-opting my pick, which is fine.
God damn it.
I'm pretty excited for my next pick. I've been meaning to pick it for a while.
Are you sticking with our alien sci-fi
I
theme
am
here?
not, I'm
with
sorry. Although I could if I wanted to do the sequel to this movie, but I'm not going to do that.
Interesting. What does that mean?
This is a kind of out there pick, guys. Mostly for me.
No.
What?
No,
There's no sequel to Get Out.
I thought there was.
Get in.
No,
Get on up.
I might be thinking of the wrong
I'm
name.
thinking
for the
Nope,
movie.
but that's not a sequel.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Never mind.
All right, kind of an out there pick for me, but I really want to watch this movie again. The Brave Little Toaster.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they do go to Mars. You're right.
That's in the sequel.
That's
though.
crazy. Yeah, I know. It's like, dude, I don't think I've ever seen Brave Little Toaster like all
Really?
the way through. Yeah. I remember watching it in like the VHS ads for like Land Before Time and stuff when I was a kid. Like, you know, I had all this, but I've never actually sat down and watched them just because we didn't have them. So I just didn't watch them.
I
Honestly,
watched all three a lot as a kid.
Scared the shit out of me.
the big,
Yeah, it's horrifying.
The big like magnet at the dump literally traumatized me for probably a couple of years right there.
Oh,
We'll
dude.
we'll talk about it.
Okay.
We'll talk,
Oh yeah,
next
Ron.
time.
If you've never seen these, just be prepared. Yeah, they're kind of like traumatizing movies.
I mean, as an adult, I'm sure I'll be fine.
I don't know.
Dude,
Cut to next week.
we've
I'm in
actually
tears.
put on. There have been nights where I've hung out with people and I've been like, "Was this a fever dream or was this a scene from The Brave Little Toaster?" And then I put it on. I'm like, "Holy shit, this isn't a kids movie." I'm pretty stoked to
The
rewatch
80s,
it.
80s and 90s were a different time for animated movies.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like Secret of Nim. Like
Black Cauldron.
I still got to watch that. I know
Yeah.
you always talk about
Was
that.
that a
too.
Don Bluth film?
Secret of Nim? Yeah.
No, Brave Little Toaster.
Oh no. I don't, or not to my knowledge at least.
okay.
Well, I'm excited. I've never seen this movie before.
I'm
and
pretty
it's-
stoked for it.
It's one of those, generational movies that like everyone I know has seen it and talks about it. And I'm just like, no.
And a heads up to our viewers, if you want to watch it, I did a lot of research. It turns out it's just on fucking YouTube, but that's like the only way. That's really the only way to watch it, unless you have the DVD, which is long out of print, or the VHS.
Interesting.
So just look it up on
Trying to
YouTube.
Keep it from the general public.
What?
They're trying to keep it
I
from
know
the
they're
general
trying to keep it
public.
locked away. But if you're trying to watch it and keep it up with us, it's not on streaming anywhere, but you could just go on YouTube. I already checked. It's the whole first movie's on there.
Cool.
Who knows? Maybe my next pick will be The Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars. And the third pick, Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue.
Is this
I think
gonna
the
be-
third one's called?
Our first animated film. It says our first animated film
Is it?
since the reboot, right? Since
The
we've
reboot?
restarted here.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
I haven't
so.
recommended an animated film yet.
No, I've
No.
wanted. There've been a couple that I've thought about, but I just haven't done it. I almost did one for. I almost picked like Poco Rosso for like.
I mean, do we want to
it's a
continue on and do
Ghibli
like
movie.
an animated theme for the rest of the?
No, we can't.
Okay.
Well, look. By the way, yes, February we're thinking of a theme. So if you have any ideas for like a theme you would like us to have for that month, let us know. We got some ideas we're kicking around, but nothing's confirmed yet. So yeah, let us know.
But cool. Thank you for tuning in to our episode on The Vast of Jason. Join us next week. We'll be discussing The Brave Little Toaster.
Okay.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye everyone.
Bye.